Welcome back to the Passion and Persistence Podcast. I'm your host, Elaina Mitchell, and I'm so excited to have you back for season 3. We have some amazing, talented individuals on this season, and I cannot wait to light you up inside with some fire and passion to keep chasing your dreams. Let's jump right into the episode.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Passion and Persistence Podcast. I'm your host, Elaina Mitchell, and today we have a really special episode because we have the one, the only Sebastian Coolidge here, bringing the heat, the vibes, the fire. What's up?
Hey, everyone.
Welcome to the show. So what do you have right there on your head?
So this is a crest that I've been adorned with this morning from a young, sweet girl named Raja, and I've been dubbed the official Vibe King.
Wow, that's so exciting. So why did she dub you the Vibe King?
Because it's just this whole vibe that I put off, and basically I'm the king of it.
Right. Makes sense. I love it. So one thing that really caught my attention when I first moved to St. Pete was your art, your murals everywhere. And the reason that they caught my attention is because they were obviously extremely different from everything else everybody was doing. So I sought you out on social media. I looked you up. I was like, I have to figure out who this artist is. And I friended you, and I've been following your journey ever since. And I had to have you on this podcast.
Thank you so much.
You're really
That's
inspiring.
I appreciate
Seriously,
that.
everything that you're doing. So tell me about what you're up to right now.
So, right now, I'm trying to do a lot of fun stuff, which, it's all kind of based around just like making up things that I've never seen before that I think are really fun and that I love, and whatever I tend to make things that I've never seen before that I love, people like them. And so I just keep making those types of things.
Right. So what inspires any of it? Like, what sparks it?
What sparks it? It's honestly, that's a question I've always asked myself. I don't really know, but there's something inside me that just kind of makes me compelled to constantly, obsessively keep creating things. And I don't know why it's not like that for everyone.
I know.
I don't really get it.
I think the same way, just like you. I'm like, why don't more people have this spark inside to create?
I don't know why I want to just do it.
Yeah, exactly. So would you label yourself as a creator?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
what's the ideal title for Sebastian Coolidge? Who are you?
The Vibe King. I've been labeled by this guy I met one time. He said that I was a fine art designer. And I really like that.
Yes.
But I would just say like probably designer. Yeah. But I also love to make things by hand also, as well as design them.
Yeah, because you make a lot of cool things. So you guys need to go check him out on his Instagram. It's at Sebastian Coolidge, right? Go give him a follow, and you'll see that he's not just an artist. So I found him from his murals, but he makes fashion, furniture, right? Well,
true.
Home decor.
Both.
Yeah, he even makes boomerangs. Like, he just creates. He gets a spark, and he does, right?
So, I like to make things that I have fun with, and it's kind of like toy-esque. So, like, even my clothing line, a lot of it's like functional, and you can play with it.
You can shop most of your stuff, right? Or is it just you make one and it's available? How does it work when you create? Like, how can people buy your stuff?
So it's mixed. So there are one-off things that I hand make and hand paint, and then there's also produced things that there'll be large quantities of that you can buy off my website.
Very cool. So how did this all start, this love for art? When did it start and why?
So it started when I was a young boy, and I just wanted to draw all the time. And I didn't realize that's what I was going to do with my life. I thought I was going to be like a chef or a stuntman or an actor, but I knew I was destined to be something. And I didn't know till way later in life that it would be art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you knew because you always found yourself drawing and doing that, right? Very cool.
And creating.
Yeah, there's always a why behind everything that we're inspired to do. If you're watching or listening and you're not sure what it is you're supposed to be doing in life, your purpose or your passion, just start. You have to just do stuff, and it leads to other things, right? You said you thought you might have been a chef.
Right.
That led to something else, I'm sure, and then something else, and then when you try all these things, I call it tasting. You taste all these things to find your favorites, and then you can invest time into something that really pays off for you spiritually and even monetarily, right?
Definitely.
So you're making money off of something that you love to do. That's a dream come true.
It's
right
the best
there.
thing ever. It's so fun. And it really is a blessing. And I really do think about how blessed I am every day that I can make things that people want in their life and they're willing to pay for.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Not everybody can create something that comes into their head. And that's the power of an artist, is we get a vision, an idea, and then we make it into real life.
Right.
That is powerful.
It does take a lot of practice.
Yeah, it really does.
Right.
Practice, yeah, absolutely. Anything takes practice. So when I first started drawing, I couldn't even draw a stick figure. Like, I just sucked. And you just have to keep trying if you're passionate about it, right?
Yeah. So
how did it evolve into this style? You just
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kept playing around with things that I liked. And I mean, I grew up in, a lot of 90s cartoon type of time. And so that reflects a lot in my work. And definitely being like born in the 80s, that also reflects a lot in my work. And I like to also blend that with things I've never seen before, which is, again, like a futuristic vibe for me that I like to constantly be thinking of new technologies, whether it be for the garments or for furniture or other things I want to design, but always being on like the brink of any new developments in those type of technology too.
Yeah, so important. That forward thinking is what keeps people in the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you're constantly staying stagnant and comfortable where you're at without thinking of the next move, someone else will take you out. So
you really do have to roll the dice and go with the flow we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
She actually said that. I was kind of saying just do random things that feel good, but go with the flow is the terminology probably for it.
Yeah. Just however you feel for the day, just go with your feelings, and that never leads you astray. I think that's really important. And artists do that pretty well.
So how did you get into this? I'm wondering now.
Into what?
Just like, I guess like the art, but what do you consider yourself?
I'm an artist or designer. Yeah.
Okay.
I like to design and create. I'm a creator.
And when did you realize that's what you wanted to do?
I just always knew. I saw my dad was a great artist. I saw him paint something when I was little, and I was like, whoa, how do you do that? And I just had to figure it out. And
Who's your dad? Wait a second.
My dad's a chef now. It's funny that you like cooking too. Artists like to cook.
Artists love to cook and plate.
Yeah.
I love plating.
Yeah.
I love cooking.
Yeah. So he went to the Culinary Institute of America, and he's a chef, but he was always an artist. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you another question. During this phase of experimenting and on your journey of art, did you fall at any point? Did you want to give up? Did you think I should stop?
No.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I'm still here.
Yeah.
It's because, on the surface level, there's always times of, on the come up of like, is this the right thing? Because it feels like everyone I love seems to doubt it and be against it. And it's very confusing. But to just keep pushing through that feeling of like, fuck everyone else, excuse my language, you can bleep that out. But you just have to like go for it, because what I realized was that even the people that love me most have never done what I'm trying to do, and they can't tell me how to do it. And they've never tried to do it. So why would I listen to them? So I only started listening to people trying to do a similar thing that I was trying to do, that I would meet along the way, and they were always encouraging and telling me to go for it. And that's why I was like, you just have to listen to people like that. And sometimes the ones that love you most are just trying to protect you by protecting themselves, by kind of emulating their fears and beliefs, and you can't fall into that, and you can't listen to them as much as you love them. You gotta do your own thing.
Yeah, you're so right. That's what it is they're trying to protect us from the possibility of failure. But when you understand that there's no failure, you're just learning the whole time, but don't care about the protection anyone's trying to give you. Just go for it. So I'm really proud of you. I think that you're inspiring so many people, whether they tell you or not. You're sparking something in other creatives out there, because I know you've done that to me.
That's so real. Yeah, really?
Of course. So absolutely. I look at your stuff and I'm just like, whoa, I need to get on my game with art. Like, you are on it. Yeah, it's really inspiring.
Thanks. And I guess it is always good to hear that, because it's easy to get lost in the sauce of, I'm doing so many things that feel so out there. It's nice to just hear someone be like, it's inspiring still, because sometimes I'm like really lost in the sauce, and I'm doing things that I've never seen, and I don't know if anyone else is doing, and I'm like, what am I even doing right now? It just feels like I should be, so I keep doing it. And it is working.
Absolutely. It's working, and you're learning. I think that is so valuable, is to just keep learning and trying. And some things stick and some things don't, but everything you do sticks. It's like literally fire. You guys need to check out his Instagram. So where can people follow you once again if they want to check
Vibe King X.
Vibe King X.
But really, Sebastian Coolidge. You just go to my Instagram page. You can find my website right on there. Any links to any cool stuff I make. Also my YouTube channel. Some good videos on there. YouTube, Sebastian Coolidge.
Thank you, Sebastian, for sharing a little bit of your story with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You're so inspiring, so cool.
It's so real.
The bling is awesome. One quick note for anybody out there that might be struggling or unsure or wanting to give up, what would you tell them right now?
Struggling, unsure, want to give up. I'd say don't give up. Keep going. Sometimes the struggle can feel super daunting, but also remember that you're learning, and it's only your journey that you are in the control of, and don't listen to anyone else. No one can tell you how to do it right. There's no blueprint. There's no exact science of doing it. And what may be right for some people may not be right for you. So if you feel like you're doing it wrong, or someone gave you some advice and you're trying to stick to that, don't, just do what feels right.
Absolutely. Go with the flow, people. And we will leave it at that. Thank you for tuning in to the Passion and Persistence Podcast. It's been so real, Sebastian. Thanks for being here.
It's been awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you guys soon.
Such an awesome episode, and I can't thank you enough for tuning in to season 3 of the Passion and Persistence podcast. It lights me up inside to light you up inside, and I hope that you take the time to light someone else up inside by sharing this podcast, leaving us a review, tagging us in your stories. This podcast is meant to remind people that with passion and persistence, anything is possible. So we talk with people that have taken the chance, made that jump to chase their dreams, and came out on the other side alive, believe it or not. So having you here along with us for these stories is just a reminder that you too are destined for greatness. And I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Passion and Persistence podcast.